Hey friends, Audrey Henley here, and it's been a hot minute since I've done a vlog, so this is an update on how I did on my October goals and what I've been up to so far in November. So I'm not doing NaNoWriMo, but I've still been pretty busy, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember my exact October goals, but the most important ones were that I finished drafting Ghostpocalypse, and then I make a mood board, and then I wanted to do a query and a synopsis. So here's how that went. I did kind of finish Ghostpocalypse. It happened a lot sooner than I expected, but to be fair, I'd kind of already written the ending, and then I filled in more. And I just ran out of things to fill in. And I ended up at like 57,000 words. So I'm still very, very short. But I've been moving forward, and I'll talk about that a little bit ahead. And then the mood board I did make, and I showed that in a previous video. And then I did write a query, and that was just sort of to help me think about how I'd pitch this book, where it fits in the market. I had to think about comps. I had to fill in a word count, which will hopefully be true someday. So I just did a lot of thinking about my project, and I'm trying to move fast with this project. Fast. You know, I'm not a super fast drafter or anything, but I am doing my best to move forward quickly, because I've been noticing a lot of paranormal or contemporary, I don't know how we're branding it nowadays. Contemporary fantasy, is that out? Is it, I don't know. There's a lot of stories selling with vampires. And my book has one vampire. It's mostly about ghosts. And so I haven't specifically seen a resurgence in want for ghost stories. But I got one vampire, and let's just hope ghosts are a part of this whole thing. And I'm going to try to ride that wave. And the reason I'm trying to do that is because I realized that I wasn't paying attention to the market at all when I started my last book. I was really writing what I like. So I wrote a book that I still think is a good book. Traditional apocalypse book. I call this one Ghostpocalypse. The last one, I don't know, I would call it like the nuclear apocalypse book. There's bunkers and stuff. So that book I really wrote from my heart, and I wrote what I wanted to read, and it turns out there's not a market for it right now. And so I haven't queried extensively, but I got enough responses from agents that were like, I don't know anyone who's buying this genre. This is really well written. I think it could be for someone else. Like, I think I got enough of those, and I got some advice, and I watched Alexa Dunn's video on YA sci-fi, and it crushed my soul a little bit. And I don't know if Alexa will watch this, but it was very, very good to hear and to know, but I'm dying. Post-apocalyptic isn't selling right now, and Alexa talks about how she watches books that are being sold. I honestly I got those emails, and I would look for books that were like my book, and I could never find them, so I never really read the list. I'd just be like, is there any post-apocalyptic books? How did they do? And of course there were none. And I didn't really see it as a pattern, which I should have. And what you really should be doing is reading the whole list and seeing what kinds of books are selling at the moment. So yeah, I'm learning more and more that you can't look at books on shelves. You have to be looking at books that have sold recently. So like, The Last 8 came out not that long ago, and that was what I was using to comp, but it's just not really actually selling nowadays. So anyway, long sidetrack over. I'm thinking more about marketing with this Ghostpocalypse book, and I'm trying to move ahead because I think it's a good time to query a story with a concept similar to this. So I need to move ahead and get going. So yeah, so I wrote a query and got thinking about marketing, which was great. And then I did not write a synopsis, but to be fair, since I'm so early since I haven't really sent it out to readers, I think I thought it was not maybe that helpful yet to write, since I still might change things, or maybe I just punked out because I didn't want to write a synopsis. I'm not quite sure, but it did not happen. So that's how I did on my October goals. So next, let's talk about my November goals. So I mentioned I'm not doing NaNoWriMo, but I did want to make like a challenge for myself just because I love watching other people's NaNoWriMo journeys. I just really enjoy seeing everyone working really hard, and I was like, I want to work hard too. So here's what I decided to do. I've got this little chart to show you. So, and you probably can't read it, but it says draft 0 to draft 1, revision round, in quotes, readability. So that's what this round is. And I have like a sticker for each chapter I revised. And so I'm trying to revise a chapter a day. I have 32 chapters, so one day I have to revise 2. But that's the basic rundown, but it's been going well. I think the thing that's done for me most is to have me realize that I still like this story. I still love it. It's also given a little credence to my drafting methods. It's very easy to compare yourself to others, especially when you're in the authortube community and you watch everyone else's videos, and there seems to be a lot of people who fast draft and who, you know, obviously do NaNoWriMo and things like that, and which is awesome and works for some people. It's just really hard to be confident in how you do things and to not want to do them how other people do them, just to do it that way rather than like for what works for you. So I am rereading my draft and I still like it. And I know a lot of people will fast draft and not really like their book anymore when they come back to revision because there's a lot of work to do. But I was surprisingly happy with the words I'd written so far. Like, there were definitely typos, there were definitely extra words, there were definitely weird tendencies that I tend to have when I'm, you know, doing my draft 0. But it wasn't as awful as I expected. And like, I don't think I was expecting to like it, like my own words. So going back and doing that has been weird. My chapter 8 was very rough. Like, I cut a scene and I hadn't actually closed up the chapter, like made a nice ending point for the reader yet. And then I decided to cut a small part of the plot. This chapter was hard and I anticipate more of those coming up. But so far in editing, like, I've slowly been adding some words, so I'm up to almost 59,000. Hooray, it's almost like a proper middle grade length novel. But yeah, it's been good to read my words again and like them and want to continue, and it's just been really like nice for me to get back in the groove after that long copy editing project and just feeling unsure of myself. Am I doing this all wrong? Should I be doing what everyone else does to get ready? And the answer is no, just do what works for you. I happen to know that Nano doesn't work for me, but I know it works for other people, and it's okay to have a different method than other people do. It's all right. So I am just feeling good that, I don't know, I can do it. I also reached out to a few people on Twitter, and we're going to exchange manuscripts after November. They're doing Nano and I'm doing some revisions in November, and we're gonna exchange drafts. And then we exchanged like first chapters because they both had like already started their first chapter, and they liked where my story was going, and that was before I revised it, so hooray. I'm feeling super good about this work in progress, even though it's so freaking short. Like, it's still under 60,000 words. Clearly missing a subplot or something, but we're just gonna figure it out. My battery's running out, so that's all I have for now, but thank you so much for watching, and I'm really looking forward to have a revised book by the end of November. So good luck with Nano, everyone. See you guys next week. Bye.